Hello, fellow followers, and welcome back to FanZcene. And today I have you a VHS haul, one of many I've been promising you guys. I'm going to do a couple of these because I bought a bunch of VHSs from a couple thrift stores and from my good buddy Deep Grill, who who I bought a bunch from him. His was a big one, so I'm going to save his haul for last. And then this haul right here is from one of the thrift stores. I got some VHSs, and this will be action thrillers.
I want my VHS.
This first one here would essentially fall into the thriller category. It's a little bit of an odd man out. It's a bit horror, a bit thriller, but the rest of them are all action and thriller movies, and they're all these VHS tapes are from the 90s and the 80s, which you gotta love that. So starting off first, we have Buried Alive, starring Tim Matheson, and it says Tim Matheson and Jennifer Jason Leigh star in this gripping thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat until the final frame. Clint Goodman enjoys the simple life he's created in the small town where he grew up. However, his wife, Joanna, yearns for a more glamorous existence and begins an affair with a local doctor who offers her a sinister but seemingly perfect way out. But the illicit couple's insatiable greed produces consequences that lead to a heart-pounding conclusion in this engrossing suspense tale, co-starring Hoyt Axton and William Atherton, who this man has no William Atherton from Ghostbusters. That's that guy. Yes, I've never actually seen this one. I've heard of this one before, so I saw this and it looked really neat. And like I said, I love me some horror movies. It's a bit of a suspense, thriller, horror type movie. It says right here, those who like a good fright won't be disappointed. So I had to get it. I saw it. It looked pretty good, and I'm glad I picked it up, and I'm looking forward to watching this when I get a chance. Up next, let's get into the action thriller stuff. How about an 80s movie starring Kiefer Sutherland and Lou Diamond Phillips? Renegades. The box on this one's a little beat up. However, the tape is in excellent condition, and I saw this as an MCA home video one. Sorry for the glare, guys. I saw this. I had not seen this movie in so long. I had almost really forgotten about it. So it says Kiefer Sutherland and Lou Diamond Phillips star in this modern-day action adventure as mavericks who join forces to bust the city's biggest crime ring. Unconventional undercover cop Buster McHenry, played by Sutherland, infiltrates a gang of criminals by joining in a jewelry heist. The attempt fails, but the gang manages to steal a rare weapon from a nearby American Indian exhibit. Deserted by the gang and now hunted by the police, McHenry reluctantly joins forces with Hank Storm, Lou Diamond Phillips, an Indian who's come to the city to recover the sacred lands. Their whirlwind trail propels the team through a wild car chase, a harrowing rooftop gunfight, and a perilous run on top of a subway car. It's fast-paced action that leads to a fiery climax in this exciting film. Like I said, I have not seen this in such a long time, and 80s and the 80s, Kiefer Sutherland and Lou Diamond Phillips was always awesome. Young Guns and stuff like this. So this is really great. It's basically like a modern day 80s cop western movie, and it's been, like I said, it's been so long, and I can't wait to dig into this one as well. Emilio, the Mighty Ducks guy, I swear to God. Up next, we have Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Dennis Leary, and Stephen Dorff from Blade. This movie I always remember really liking. It's a really great action, not horror, but like thriller. It can get really dark. It says, on their way to a boxing match, Frank Wyatt, played by Estevez, his brother John, played by Stephen Dorff, and his friends Mike, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Ray, Jeremy Piven. I forgot Jeremy Piven was in this as well, too. Great cast in this movie. Get off the expressway in the worst part of town to avoid traffic jam. Dun, dun, dun. Never do that. Especially in these type of movies. But they're definitely not in Kansas anymore when they cross paths with a psychotic drug lord, Fallon, played by Dennis Leary, who kills one of his subordinates right before their eyes and wants no witnesses. Soon an innocent evening's fun has turned into a deadly nail-biting game of cat and mouse through Chicago's asphalt jungle as each layer of civilization is stripped away and they must rely on their animal instincts and each other to survive. Judgment Night. This is a good movie. I've always really enjoyed this movie. I really always thought this was sort of an underrated type film, and it's really good. It's really suspenseful, and I think it's one of the last real Emilio Estevez led more well-known movies. I mean, he's done more. He directs now, and he's actually starred in some other movies. But this was like, I think, around the time of his like last big thing, like with the Mighty Ducks and all that, like I mentioned. And yeah, always really liked this. It was a good movie, and it gets intense, and it gets sad, and it's got action, and it's just like, just don't get off that expressway for those shortcuts, people. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Judgment Night, yeah, don't do it in a horror movie, an action thriller, or a suspense movie. Yeah, just don't do it. You keep going the way you're supposed to go, and everything will turn out just fine. Now let's turn to some badass old school action heroes. Starting off first with Kurt Russell in Breakdown. Kurt Russell is a badass. This movie actually just came out on Blu-ray not too long ago by Paramount Presents. I've always liked this movie. I think this is yet another underrated Kurt Russell movie, because Kurt Russell is the man. And if you've not seen this, I recommend this one. So let's read it back for you guys so you can understand what it's all about. Jeff Taylor, Kurt Russell, and his wife Amy Kathleen Quinlan are headed towards a new life in California when their car's engine dies on a remote highway. Amy accepts a ride from a helpful trucker, J.T. Walsh, who's great in this movie, by the way, while Jeff waits for the car. But when Jeff shows up at the agreed rendezvous, he finds his wife's not there. The locals aren't talking, the police aren't much help. With no one to turn to, Jeff battles his worst fears and begins a desperate, dangerous-ridden search to find Amy before it's too late. And that actually doesn't give it away, that doesn't give it a lot away, but that actually doesn't explain a lot of the plot. The thing is, the trucker and everybody that helped him on the road and took his wife, they all claim to have never seen or met him or his wife at all. So he's, he doesn't understand what's going on. And, this is really suspenseful action thriller. Kurt Russell is awesome in this movie as always. This is a 90s movie, and just right up to the climax. I mean, everybody plays a part so great in this movie. It's just intense, and I love this movie. So I was really glad to pick this up on VHS, and the Blu-ray is out there, so I'm glad to have that as well. As I said before, some old school badass action heroes, and these last two films feature the same actor doing his dirtiest, best, awesome roles. And no, it's not who you probably think it is. It's Charles Bronson, and this is Death Wish 4, Cannon. You gotta love Cannon films. This is near the end of the Death Wish. There's still one more after this. They kept going, and Charles Bronson was still badass in all of them, no matter what. So this is Death Wish 4. The Crackdown. I love the media. I love the media and the canon. That's part of the VHS hunting and collecting that I love. This time around, superstar Charles Bronson, Death Wish 1, 2, and 3, and the Magnificent Seven blows the drug underworld wide open in a blazing quest for justice and revenge in Death Wish 4, The Crackdown. Haunted by his violent past, architect Paul Kersey Bronson struggles to forget the brutal deaths of his loved ones and his obsessive one-man battle to revenge their murders. But when a dose of toxic crack kills the young daughter of his new girlfriend, Kay Lenz of Rich Man, Poor Man, Kersey again becomes the infamous vigilante crusader. How much can one man lose? I mean, eventually you would think people would stop trying to kill these people that he loves, because he's just going to murder some horrible people. I mean, it's awesome. Charles Bronson, I mean, keep kicking ass, man. Where was we? Vowing to wipe out the entire cocaine network of LA. Good luck with that. It's gotten 100 times worse. He skillfully goads two vicious competing drug empires into a bloody turf war, but there's a sinister force behind the scenes. Runaway Trains, John P. Ryan, with his own plans for Kersey in this powerhouse action thriller. Death Wish 4, The Crackdown. I saw this, especially after we did the Physical Media Show, and Tom brought all of his Death Wish 1, 2, 3, and 4 and all that on the Blu-ray, which I still need to pick up all them on Blu-ray, but I found this and I saw this and I was like, I absolutely love it, especially shout out to the Canon film guide, Austin, who we've had on the show, on Physical Media Show. Anytime I see Canon now, I automatically want to grab it because I love Canon films, and this was too perfect to not get, especially with the next one too, which is also Canon. So, well, let's move on to that. We have Charles Bronson once again in the starring role, and this time it's Murphy's Law. Once again, Canon Media thing. I love it. The old school VHSs. These are the original VHSs. I love finding these. They're just so great. And this was Murphy's Law. One I've not seen in a very long time, much like the Death Wish movies. And I remember this one being a really good one. And so let's get into it. If you don't know what Murphy's Law is all about, the unstoppable Charles Bronson erupts into furious action as Jack Murphy, a homicide cop transformed into a vengeful killing machine. Sounds familiar. When his ex-wife is brutally gunned down, all the evidence points to LA police veteran Jack Murphy. Framed for the murder he didn't commit, Murphy finds himself arrested and handcuffed to a foul-mouthed street punk Arabella. Dragging the prostituting girl behind him, Murphy hijacks a police helicopter, and the two unlikely allies set out to clear his name and save their own lives. With his back against the wall, there's only one law Jack Murphy doesn't blow to smithereens: Murphy's Law. This is a great movie. Like I said, I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember it being really good. And like I said, Charles Bronson is a badass, and everything he did, he just, whether it was a good movie or a bad movie, you could tell he was in the movie and he was doing what he did and he doing what he loved, and he kicked ass. So I loved it. Once again, the Canon, I saw it, I had to get it. Yeah, this is just awesome, and I love finding these. And I know I don't show all the tapes all the time, but they're really great condition. I always have to make sure, even if the cases are a little beat up around the edges, I have to take them out, make sure there's no mold, because you don't want mold. That will run your VCR. The tapes can be cleaned, but I'd rather find them mold free first before I have to get one with mold in them. But yeah, they're all in great condition, and I really love these VHSs, and I was finally glad to be able to share these with you guys, because I've had them for a while, and I got more over here from Deep Grill, from another thrift store, so be prepared for that. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments section down below. Do you have any of these VHSs? Have you seen any of these movies? Leave those comments, because I love reading them and I love going through them, and I love hearing what you guys have to say. And if you like this video, please hit the like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, share the video out for everybody to see. Once again, I thank you guys for watching wherever you guys are. Please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Godspeed, and always continue to support physical media.